Dirtyfest! Dirtyfest 2! Second annual Dirtyfest.
And our first time.
Your first time. My second time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a great time to be here, right?
Absolutely.
I heard it's like 5 times, 10 times, 4 times. I don't know how many times bigger than last year, but oh my God.
We don't have anything compared to, but I can tell you, we have done nothing but smile.
You're having a blast, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Grins.
Absolutely.
Grins.
Yeah. And everybody has been so nice.
So look,
and
we have
welcoming.
Mr. Matt Hayden from Torker walking by here. He's all excited. So look, come here. We have Mr. Matt Hayden, Torker Legacy. So I'm going to ball up your whole interview process. This is going to be here. So no, we are. So I'm jumping in here. This is the master, the diesel, Mr. Matt Hayden. This is Torker Legacy. This is BMX icon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Out here having fun in the mud, in the dust, in the dirt, playing with BMX kids, right?
Yeah,
this is what we do, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're having fun. So Mike Miranda, Eric Carter, James Vicente, the brains behind the world's largest BMX fun festival.
Yep.
They've allowed this whole thing to get put together. We don't know why Janet ordered the rain. Damn it, Janet. Why did Janet order the rain? Damn it, Janet. Why did she order the rain?
It clamped down on some of the dust, though.
No more dust, no more windstorm.
Yeah.
But the beautiful part about it is this year, it's the 35-year anniversary of Supercross, okay? So that's a huge thing that we're trying to do. 35-year anniversary of Supercross. And to make it even better, it's the relaunch of the Torker brand, which we're super proud. We got Matt here. Matt, he's got one of his original Torker race bikes from when he rode for it from a different era. He has his Torker Cruiser that he's playing around. Tried to get him to race, but he's like, no racing, I'm good today. But how many autographs did you sign yesterday?
There's probably about 100.
Oh, well, come on, more. I'm going to say 1,000. You just signed the door?
Yeah. Probably maybe a couple hundred.
Did we sign any adult tops? I'm not going to say the word. I mean, I'm sorry.
None of that.
Mahalo, you know. No, I'm just, I'm sorry. I'm being edited. No, we're running the straight? What? No bleeps? Oh, man.
Yeah. This is awesome, though.
So are you having fun, though, is what my question for you.
Absolutely. Like, we saw the videos from last year. We saw Frogtown. We saw Dirtyfest. We watched the podcast, that Mike puts on with his buddies. And it just looked like so much fun.
You watch the Dirty Knobs podcast?
Yes, I do.
Religiously,
Yes, I do.
right?
Yes, we do. And I've seen the stuff with
every
you.
2 weeks?
I've seen the Supercross videos.
You watch my videos?
Yes,
I don't do videos. Do I do videos? I don't do videos.
And I could say you are exactly like you are online. Just super friendly, just welcoming. Like it's been incredible. And
don't get that out, please. Censor that part out.
No, but to be able to just be here and walk amongst the people that you used to see in magazines.
Yeah.
Because in Hawaii, like maybe the guys would come down once a year, if that. And we got Eddie to come out, Eddie Fiola, one time.
Eddie just left. He just packed up.
Yeah, we talked to him.
Did you see his eye?
Yeah, we were there that night when he.
Did you catch video of that?
I got it. I was actually doing a live, and then that's when he fell, and then I stopped it. But the guy's a trooper.
Always has been, right?
Yeah.
Always has been.
It's just been incredible to just be here and be able to talk to people and people, talk to people like you, and just we've just been so welcomed that super blessed. So thank you. Yeah.
So again, I'm not sure where you wanted to take this, but I know we're just having fun. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
We're the second annual Dirtyfest.
Yeah.
Mike, this is going on film. Second annual. We're gonna do third. We're gonna do fourth. We're gonna do fifth.
We were like, we gotta come back.
Hold on. That's
fifth.
10, 20.
Right.
20.
Would be good.
We're gonna do 20. So we're gonna do all kinds of fun things.
Yeah.
And we're excited about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna get bigger. It's gonna get better.
And people that I've talked to already have said this year has been bigger than last year.
Bigger track, better track.
Yeah.
The freestyle
bike show was
jam.
amazing.
I didn't even get to see the bike show.
Oh,
I haven't gone.
I think there are more entries, more fans.
Yeah.
More pits. They had more pits this year than last year too.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
for
only
sure.
gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
For sure.
And as the word gets out, stuff like this gets out there, and we're good. Everybody we tell, we're gonna be like, dude, Dirtyfest, you gotta come here.
I'm telling people.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I went last night, stopped over at Starbucks, said, hey, you're going to Dirtyfest, right? They're like, what's Dirtyfest? I'm like, you do BMX, right? They're like, no, what's BMX? I'm like, oh, let me tell you. So,
Yeah.
got my caramel macchiato, trying to,
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
my version of an adult beverage,
Okay, yeah.
but,
Absolutely.
so the guy from Starbucks, I think I saw him walking over there
He
earlier.
probably was. I think you convinced them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
I mean, I listened
I gave
to
him a
you,
green badge.
Oh,
I
I'm
Starbucks
convinced.
color.
Yeah.
I'm convinced. It's convinced me. I'll be here every year.
Yeah.
You're going to be.
Yeah. It's awesome. So, I wanted to talk to you though specifically.
Yes, sir.
About the whole, okay, so Bill Ryan, owner of Supercross, and Bernie and I, we raced probably in the, what is that? Maybe early '80s.
Yeah, early 80s.
Right?
like,
Early '80s, maybe.
all the way up to 85.
Somewhere around there.
Okay.
And so we weren't familiar with Supercross because we kind of got out when you guys kind of started.
Right. So I've actually heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah.
So we started Supercross in 1989. And as you guys were setting up to do the filming, you guys probably saw Brent Shoup and Yvonne Shoup walking over in the corner. I was giving them big hugs as they were leaving.
Yeah.
Brent Shoup actually welded the first Supercross
Oh,
frame
wow.
for me. Yvonne Shoup, who was there, she was the original
Yeah.
owner of Free Agent Bikes. They used to weld their bikes in their garage.
Yeah.
We've been friends for decades. We
Yeah.
grew up racing together, going to high school together, just being
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
So that's part of where this Dirtyfest brings that all together.
Absolutely.
But we had
Absolutely.
a dream, and we decided, hey, we're going to start building these bikes and start doing this. And we
Yeah.
had this vision, and I started up doing the Supercross thing. So here, fast forward 35 years,
Yeah.
We've had world champions, we've had riders at every running of the Olympics, we've won 7 golden cranks for Bike of the Year, which I hate to tout as anything, but everybody's like, oh, Bill, that's a record. No one has ever done
Yeah.
7 golden cranks for Bike of the Year. And it's like, wow, that's awesome. I don't try and look at that stuff. I just keep trying to look forward of
Yeah.
what we're going to try and do to
Yeah.
move forward
Yeah.
and try and make things fun. But we've been doing it for 35
It's
years.
incredible though. It's incredible.
It's a fun thing.
And I gotta tell you, okay, so how I learned about Supercross was, I'm a big Radical Rick, Damian Fulton fan.
He's
okay?
amazing.
So I saw something in which you guys created a bobblehead.
Yes.
And so that's how I came across Supercross, because I was like, okay, you guys had it.
Yeah.
I bought one.
Okay.
And then I was like, wow, who are these guys? And then that's how I got to know the Supercross name. And as the years have kind of gone by, it makes total sense that you guys would do that for Damien, because you're just so passionate about BMX.
Well, and Damien and I have been friends since what year was it? I'm gonna go back here, and I started go back 83
Wow.
was the first year that I met Damien.
Yeah.
When I had my first frame company when I was 15 years old,
What?
which was called High Tech. And
That's incredible. You're 15 years old.
yeah, 15 years old.
And-
so a small little frame company called
Wow.
High Tech. And
Wow.
I've got the copy of the BMX Plus at the shop, but that's the first time I met Damien, to where I had one of my buddies drive me up to the BMX Plus offices to drop off the frame.
Okay.
And while I was dropping off the frame, Damien was there dropping off the
One of his
episode
artwork.
of Radical Rick.
Nice.
So I got to meet Damien, and we became friends
Yeah.
40 years ago.
That's incredible.
So as things were moving, we just become friends.
Yeah.
We did a Supercross BMX bobblehead
Yeah.
for our 30-year anniversary. And when we did that, Damien hit me up and said, hey, Bill, that was really cool. Do you think we could do a Radical Rick one?
Yeah.
Because it's going to be our 40-year
Yeah.
anniversary of Radical Rick. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's do this.
do it.
This would be rad.
Yeah.
And it was really fun to do it. And Damien is just an amazing guy.
He's the coolest
I mean,
guy. We
I
sat
don't-
down and talked to him. I mean,
He's
so
salt
nice.
of the earth, salt of the
Yeah.
earth, right? And it was so cool because when we were doing it, I said, hey, Damien, I need a front view, I need a side view. So he did hand sketches for me of how he wanted the radical rig to
look.
be done.
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to give you carte blanche. Design the box however you want to do it. I'm like, oh, okay,
Wow,
cool. And
that's really cool.
so we got to work together on the whole thing, and it was really cool. And, you know, and he said I made him cry when I sent him the first Radical Rick bobblehead.
That's awesome.
Because he said it was the first time he saw his little buddy in a full 3D form.
Yeah, because everything's been 2D.
Everything's been 2D. It's been the comic.
Absolutely.
He's never seen him as a 3D form.
That's so cool.
So when I sent it to him, I said, hey, Damien, check your mail.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I said, check your mail. And he went out to the mailbox and he called me and he was crying. He's like, Bill, he goes, this is my little buddy. This is my little buddy. And I'm like,
you know?
awesome. So we're good.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we're good. So it was fun. So I'm glad you found Supercross through that.
Yeah, and it makes total sense. As I've gotten to just know more about you and
Right.
Supercross, and then here now with the Torker stuff, like I totally understand why you guys would come out with that, because of you just have this lifelong friendship. Like it's like you guys have been friends forever, and wanted to do something for him to help him, and then now now we got Torker.
Well, and Torker has been an absolute passion project as well.
So tell
And
us about like how did this come about? Because
super weird thing. Super weird thing. So Torker has always held a small part of my heart because growing up, I had a small paid co-sponsorship with them as a kid.
Oh.
I sucked as a rider, right? And I always tell the story. Mike Miranda and I joked about it the one time to where, I had to buy my frame, buy my jersey, at a discount, whatever.
Yeah.
But the frames got broken and, take it back. They give me a new frame. Frame got broken, do whatever. But I loved the bike, right? It was great, and Mike always joked around with me. He's like, oh, how many forks did you bend? Because he goes, when I was on Torker, I used to bend the
broke
forks,
them all.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, man. But years ago, Redline bikes happened to be for sale. And we were in the process of looking at possibly buying
Buying it.
Redline.
Oh, interesting.
And they had the Torker brand as
Oh,
well.
as well.
And I was like, well, hey, I want the Torker brand tossed in as part of it.
Okay.
And they were like, well, there's a value to that, but
Yeah,
sure, we can
Okay.
do that. Well, nothing ever worked out to make the whole Redline thing work out.
Okay.
The money just didn't
Okay.
work, the debts didn't work, the balance
yeah.
didn't work. It didn't work out.
Okay.
I wanted to do it, but it didn't work out.
Okay.
It ended up getting sold off to a different company,
Yeah.
and they're doing their own thing. But I kept wanting to pursue the Torker thing.
Okay.
And Eddie Fiolo knew, Mike Miranda knew, Eddie King knew that I was trying to do something with it.
Okay.
Gork knew that I was trying to do something with it, but they were like, oh, what's going on with it? And it's like, I've been kind of letting it sit. They're like, no, come on, do this.
Yeah.
This is your thing, and it's like, I don't have the money. I've been going through some medical issues on some things, trying to keep Supercross going, trying to
because you're
really
running
keep
a
things
full-time
going.
business already.
Full time. And the thing that I really wanted to do is next year will be the 50-year anniversary of Torker.
Wow.
And it was like, okay, you know what? Gork is doing such an amazing job with the BMX Hall of Fame. We're coming up on our 35-year anniversary of Supercross. And I'm like, okay, we got to try and do some things.
Yeah.
We got to try and make some things happen. And we just kept pushing forward and pushing forward. And I want to celebrate the riders. And I want to celebrate the history. And I want to celebrate the legacy. And I want to celebrate everything. And that's part of where, I talked to Eddie about it, King and Fiola. We've got the Fiola model, the King model, because they're all dear friends
it's
of
all
mine.
part of it. It's part of the history, right?
Dear friends of mine. But it's like, let's do this. Let's celebrate this. Let's
Yeah.
celebrate your history. Let's celebrate your legacy. And let's bring all that forward. So it's not about being a brand and selling product. It's about celebrating that history and bringing that forward, and bringing that fun forward, and getting more butts on bikes, and bringing that legacy forward to where people understand what the bikes were about, and what these riders used to do, and how the families tried to bring things forward, because it was a small family-owned business. We're a small family-owned business. I mean, I think I introduced you to my son and his fiance earlier, and you know, they're out here helping, and we have, you know, our riders' families out here helping, and you know, Randy Roberts, who's over here riding for us for Supercross. I mean, you know, Clint Miller and I were just talking, you know, Randy's been with us for 24 years of our 35-year history.
Yeah, that's incredible.
You know, longest running factory rider, I think, in the history of the sport. You know, been with us for that long. And it's a great thing. And that's what the sport needs more of. The sport needs more of that history and more of that legacy.
And just, spreading that love.
Well, you know, BMX doesn't have what baseball has. BMX doesn't have what football has. BMX doesn't have what soccer has. You don't have all those fans and all those history books and all those stats books and all that stuff. So when these kids first get into these sports now, they don't know who these riders are. So to me, when we do events like this, it's important that we get these riders to come out and that these riders know who. So like today, I had a bunch of little kids run up and want my autograph, which I'm completely humbled, right? I was blown away. No one should want my autograph. Why do you want my autograph, right? No one wants my autograph. Clint Miller was standing right there. And I'm like, hey, you don't want my autograph. The first international world champion is standing right behind you. This is why. And let me start to tell you some information about him. And these kids who are 8 years old, 9 years old, they turn around. They want his autograph. That's what it's about. And seeing these kids get excited and seeing these kids want their autographs and seeing them start to learn and start to look at the bikes and start to understand. And we have a kid on the team, Ryder Murky, who's out here, 12 years old. He raced 4 classes this weekend, right? We couldn't keep him off the track. When the track was too wet, I mean, don't tell anybody, cut this part of the video out, but we had to lie about his age to get him into the Pro-Am. Pro-Am's 14 and over. But
Michael let that slide.
well, it was kind of funny. We were over at sign up and James is like, yeah, you know, Pro-Am's 14 and over, and Ryder's like, but I really want to do the Pro-Am. And he's like, James is like, well, how old are you? And he's like, oh, I'm 12. And I'm like, Ryder, how old are you? And he's
14.
like, no. And he's like, I'm 12.
And
Mike looks over and I'm like, Ryder, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 12. And Mike just kind of side eyes him again. And he's like, Ryder, how old are you? And he's like, I'm 12. And I'm like, Ryder, did you want to ride the Pro-Am? Yeah, it's 14
you gotta
and
be
over.
14 years old.
How old are you? Oh, I'm 14. Which, Ryder, come here. Real quick, speaking of him, here he comes. And look, he's running around with his autograph board to go and get autographs. Ryder, you're sitting here, we're doing a little video for cruising in the 808 right now, and I was just bragging about how you don't want to get off the track. How fun is it out there?
It's amazing.
Yeah? You having fun?
And
this
how
is the
old are
best,
you?
right?
How old are you?
No, how old are you? We were talking about the Pro-Am.
14.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's an awesome story. That's an awesome story.
So, but this is the amazing thing. And then Randy, come here real quick. So, Randy, we're putting you on screen real quick. So, Randy Roberts, my brother, right? So, longest running Supercross factory rider, longest running factory rider in the history of the sport.
Wow.
Out here having fun, not blasting people this year, maybe. Not yet. We got one more. Yeah. Having fun, right?
Yeah, that's what
this is what it's about.
Exactly. That's
so
awesome.
everything we're doing, Supercross, Torker, trying to help these guys with Dirtyfest, trying to help USA BMX, they're going to have their Legacy National this
Oh,
year.
wow.
You know, their Hall
That's
of
pretty
Fame
cool.
National.
That's
You
pretty
know,
cool.
there's a lot of cool stuff
Yeah,
going on,
there
right?
is. There is.
BMX is alive.
Yeah.
This weekend, Lexus Colby, our elite woman, second at the Continental Championships down in South America. You know, we had everything going on there. We've got the Nationals going up on Oregon. BMX is alive and well. People need to know this, and this is part of what it's all about.
And you guys are doing a fantastic job. You guys are doing a fantastic
Sorry, guys.
job.
Go race. Go race.
No.
Rowan, you just cut right across the camera.
So you wanted to bring this back, but I think I heard you say this on the video with Mike, that it was kind of like a 8 or 9 year journey.
9-year process.
For real? Like so?
For real. We started in 2015.
Wow.
Sorry.
So
I don't mean to
2015.
jump around, Bernie.
No.
2015 is when we started on trying to get
That's
Torker.
amazing. And so it just took
The attorneys, the
my
trademarks, the
goodness.
patents,
Yeah,
the attorneys, dealing with the company, back and forth with the attorneys, trademarks, the legals. It's 9
But
years.
that's incredible because, again, the more we get to know you and the kind of person you are, I think you're the perfect person to bring this back just because your heart is in the right place. And then I really took to what you said about wanting to have the family, you know, and their blessing and talking to them about it too, you know.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, the family lost the company in the bankruptcy back in 1984, right? They lost it. It got sold to Tioga OBC for $3,000, 1984, in the bankruptcy court, right? Done. The family has nothing to do. It's been 40 years. The family hasn't had anything to do with it. And we didn't have to talk to them. We didn't have to do anything with it. But when I was speaking with Eddie, and I said, hey, we've got this. This is our company. It's ours. We own this. But I want to just make sure that we have their blessing, because what we're going to try and do is talk about their family history and talk about their legacy of what it is. And Eddie told me, he's like, hey, the only person that I have a contact information for is for Evan Johnson, who is Steve Johnson, who was the amazing man that ran Torker, who unfortunately passed away. His son. And we reached out to Evan, and Evan and I had a long conversation, and he was like, Bill, he goes, yeah, you've got our blessing. This is amazing. He goes, not that you need it because it's your company. He goes, but anything that we can do, to try and help you, I'm there. He goes, awesome. This is awesome. And he goes, but I want to come out and see you guys out at the Winter Nationals. I want to come out and see what you guys do. So he came out and saw us at Phoenix at the Winter Nationals, hung out with us, had a great time. And he's like, oh my God, Bill, this is the best thing. This is so fun. And he's like, I want a Supercross now. This is amazing. This is infectious. And he goes, but I want a pink Supercross so I can be like how Mike Miranda was. And I want, I want to do this. And he was all excited. And then he's like, hey, can you reach out to Doug as well? And, I was like, of course. So I reached out to Doug, and Doug and I had a long talk, and Doug was like, yeah, Bill, this would be amazing. Of course you've got our blessing. He goes, I think everybody would be really happy. And he's like, is there anything I can do to help? And I was like, no, I think we're okay, but I appreciate that, And he's like, well, is Evan going to be at any of these events? And Evan was supposed to be here this weekend for Dirtyfest. And he's like, Bill, I live really close. I'm going to come by. I want to see everybody. I haven't seen these riders in 40 years. It's been 40 years since I've seen them. And I was like, oh, please, come on out. See everybody. This is what we would love. We'd love to have you. I'd love to learn the history from you, because that's what we want to do, is we want to elevate out the history of what you have. I want to make sure that we have that history up so that the world knows about what you guys have done. And he seemed like he had a blast.
I think he did.
He
we
seemed like
had
he
a
had
nice
a blast.
conversation with him, and every time he saw us, he was like, "Hey, the Hawaiians," you know.
Yeah,
like, Shaka brada, like you know,
yeah,
whatever.
shaka bra, shaka bra.
Yeah, he was really, really kind. His wife was super nice. She sent me some pictures and stuff, and so.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I saw you guys doing your little interview. I tried to stay out of your way to
Yeah.
give him his little space
Yeah.
with it because he seemed to really be enjoying
Yeah,
it.
he did, and he really appreciated coming out here and just being able to talk to some of the people and the hospitality that you showed him and his family. Like, he really enjoyed it. So that was really
Good.
cool.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's what it's about.
Yeah,
You know, it's
absolutely.
about family. I
Yeah.
mean, even with this guy.
It's like, but it's
Sorry.
again, no, you guys, perfect people to bring it back because again, like we can see it. Like your heart's in the right place. You have this love and this passion for BMX, and you just want to do things the right way, and keep it going for
thank you.
another 35 years.
That's my plan.
Right?
That's my plan.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, hell, as long as I can keep going. I mean, down at the end of our row, you can see we've got the Redmond tents.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we lost, Redmond last year, Frick, I miss that guy. But, he was another one who just loved BMX so deeply and so dearly. And, now you just saw his son Talon just ride by, and, Talon's trying to keep Redmond bikes going.
That's
and
awesome.
His daughter Austin's keeping the track going. And, it's all about family and trying to keep this whole thing going. And that's a big thing that I think's been lost in this sport. And I want to make sure that we can keep that going.
Yeah.
And
I think some of our best times are on a BMX bike as kids.
for sure.
And
For
like,
sure.
it's just so awesome to be able to be older and come back to it and relive some of those same feelings, get to meet some of the people that you idolized and grew up watching and seeing them in magazines and stuff, and to be a part of this, it's been incredible. It's just been such a fun weekend.
The fun festival. The fun starts here.
Yes, the fun starts here.
And see, here's the gentleman that I was yelling at. Tony D, come here. Tony, I'm going to make you get on camera.
I'm not comfortable with this.
You're not comfortable with this at all. I know he's not. So, Tony DeGalato.
I don't know what to do.
Tony DeGalato. You're on cruising in the 808 right now.
Oh, shit. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Right.
Mahalo!
Hey.
No, I'm usually more like Buddha. But we'll
Oh.
whatever. It all works.
Yeah.
It all works.
So-
what part of Hawaii?
We're on the island of Kauai.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
You're
So if
very
you guys ever
fortunate.
make it out there, man, we
Very
have.
good.
We,
you need to give this guy a vacation. You need to if you get him out there, you've
There
won.
you go.
Okay,
Well,
you've won. That's
we gotta-
how you know. If you get him to take a vacation,
So-
you've won.
So, Tony and I have been friends since we were 15 years old, 16 years
15,
old.
16.
Wow.
So now, and his son, Parker, works for us.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
So what we're doing, this is the actual truth, okay? It's disguised as working for Bill, but I'm worn out, so Bill is taking over part of the fatherly parenting. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. So I'm like, Bill, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
I'll pay you, you pay him, and just give him a job. And
I
then
haven't gotten my check yet.
Well, it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming.
This is BMX. It's coming. Okay?
Yeah.
Hey!
No, me. I'm saying me. Yeah. So anyway, we're good. So anyway, but no, I owe a lot to him.
That's awesome.
Honestly, owe a lot to him, and I hate him just as much as I love him. I don't know if you've had a relationship like that before. But anyway.
Yeah, that's how you know you love somebody.
That's it. That's
Right? That's
that
how you
fine
know.
line,
It's
right?
a fine
You
line
know?
between love and hate. Absolutely. So, no, but thank you. Thank you for doing this. 9 years, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's been a
And
process.
for you guys to stick through it, and the way you did it is just, that's the way to do business, I feel.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
We've tried.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm proud that we have, this bike here for Mike Miranda, for Tommy Brackens, my friends, my family.
Yeah.
This one for Eddie King,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah.
Eddie Fiola. We're trying to do it to where we're working with
Honoring
the riders,
those guys.
honoring them, trying to
Yeah.
bring it forward
Yeah.
and make sure that they're getting theirs, you
That's
know?
awesome.
And it was funny, like with Clint, you know, when I reached out to Clint, I'm like, hey, I want to do a replica of the 26-inch that you rode.
Oh, wow.
Are you okay with that?
I
And
want
he's
that.
like, yeah. And he's like, but can you do me a favor? And I'm like, yeah. And I go, I want to do it as a signature bike. I'm going to call it like the Miller Time or something. And he's like,
Oh.
no. We got to call it the Barbarian. And I'm like, oh,
Barbarian, yeah.
okay. Done.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
But that was his idea. And I'm like,
That's awesome.
all right.
That's awesome. And he was such a nice guy too. Like we met him
Oh.
this weekend.
Salt of
and,
the earth.
And you know, we met him one time, we got introduced, and then every time we saw him, he was like, hey, and then he would just talk to us. And so
Clint's one
I
of the
mean,
best.
Everything that I've heard about him has just been he's just one of the nicest guys.
One of
you
the
know?
nicest.
Yeah.
If not
So,
the nicest.
Yeah. And you are just the same. Like
Oh,
thank you. Like it's been a pleasure just sitting here and just talking to you and learning more about this.
Well, I'm
And-
sorry we didn't have more time. I
No.
know it's been crazy, busy.
Oh, it's been a crazy weekend. We are just, our minds are blown. Like, you know, we did an interview with, I think, Bob Harrow, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and like another legend, right?
Another
and
legend.
It's just like, we're walking back
Did
to
you
the
see
car.
him cut the autograph line yesterday?
No, I did not see that.
Okay, so you saw how we had the poster signing yesterday
Yeah,
with
and
the
you know,
whole
and the
huge
thing
line.
is, we missed a lot of that because we were interviewing somebody else, and then by the time we came back, I think Eddie King was here,
Right.
and then so I went to him and I got his, and I was like, oh shoot, I think this is where all the signatures went, so we missed it.
Oh, yeah. So we had this whole line of all the pros, and Miranda said, hey, here's the deal. It has to start with Eddie and then go down for all the Torker pros and
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
SE pros and the,
Yeah.
you know, everybody else, everybody down. But he goes, has to start with Eddie. Bob Harrow showed up late and jumped the line and got right in front of Eddie. And I'm like, typical freaking Bob. And he's like, hey, I drew that poster years ago.
Yeah.
I can cut the line.
Yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. We missed that yesterday, but I was still able to walk around and just, hey, Sue Thompson, oh my God, you know, Tommy Brackens, you know,
Yeah.
Eddie Fiola, like it's just been incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. This weekend has been awesome. Getting to talk to you as our last interview for the weekend.
Hopefully I
is
don't
a
blow out your
blessing.
SD card.
No, we're good, and just thanks again. It's just been a pleasure meeting you and getting to know the history.
Well, thank you.
Look
We'll have
forward
to do,
to like seeing
we'll have
you
to do
again.
something more formal in the future.
Yeah.
So I'm tired. But we're here at Dirtyfest.
We're here at Dirtyfest.
We've been in the dirt. We've been in the mud. My face is sunburned,
Yeah,
windburned.
We're sunburned. We're dirty. Like it's
How
not
you're
called
from
dirty.
Hawaii? How can you be sunburned? You're from Hawaii. You should
Hey.
Oh, my
the
brother.
constant tan. The constant tan.
Not if we.
Living on the
It's
beach,
the dirt from the dirt.
singing the songs.
It's been a blast. But thank you. Okay. Thanks,
God bless
guys.
you. Cruising in the 808.
Yeah. Aloha.